Center enjoyment around your beauty and you will always feel beautiful. I do not aspire to be an easy person to be with because if I need space to be me, I'm gonna take the space. Stop raising the bar and start living your life. That is the most beautiful thing that you can do. Learn yourself and what looks good on you. Surround yourself with people that don't wait to look perfect to enjoy their lives. This video is for you if you have ever not felt beautiful, especially if you are a fellow brown girl. Hi, my name is Mahika. This is the Reclaiming Bossy podcast, and I have a confession to make. I spent the last 10 years of my life wishing that one day I would wake up with green eyes or blue eyes, or sometimes even wishing that I would wake up white. Because I thought that life would be easier, that people would like me more, that my crushes would like me back, that life would be simpler if I was white. And I grew up in a super white town as one of the only brown girls in my school. And I really felt like the ethnic minority, ugly brown girl. And you know what? Right now on the internet, it's cool to be brown. But for most brown people, that wasn't the reality growing up, especially if you grew up outside of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, wherever. If you grew up in the UK, the US, Australia, Germany, whatever, we are all united by the fact that we had monobrows growing up, that we got bullied. Now everyone wants our eyebrows, wants our hair, wants our lips, but still make racist jokes. And whilst Tyler and lots of like Indian fashion has made, again, being brown women more celebrated now, I'm seeing way more representation from models like Bhavita Mandava and on screen from Netflix, from series, from TV shows, on movies. It's still something a lot of women have internalized racism, colorism, and insecurity about. And I want to share things that I have done to feel more confident, bossy, and beautiful as a young brown woman raised outside of a society where people look like me. I am so used to being the exception in my friend group and in a lot of the rooms that I walked in because since I was about 10 years old, I was an ethnic minority. Now, for a little bit of context, before I was 10, I lived in big cities, international cities. I never thought about the fact that I was Indian, that I was brown. I never really thought about the way that I looked or my beauty. Actually, that's a lie. I think most young girls start thinking about it way sooner. But I never thought about my beauty and my brownness and the link between them. But now I reflect back, and when I was 10, I moved to the super white town, and overnight I was an ethnic minority and a person of color, and I felt small. I felt ugly. I felt weird. I felt shame. I had these big eyebrows, this crazy hair, this thick accent. I was a nerd. I was a goody two shoes. I didn't understand what I was doing wrong, and I felt like I needed to change. And that started a decade of obsession with glowing up, doing all of these crazy diets, doing all of these different things to look smacks, to feel pretty, to fit in. You know what? It worked. I changed my name. I lost weight. I got rid of my braces eventually. I stopped wearing my glasses so I couldn't see, even though I just wanted to look pretty. But I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm just not going to see. I just want to look pretty, all the stuff. I dumbed myself down. I did everything I could to step away from the stereotype of like the ugly and weird brown girl. But you know what? I am the bossy, beautiful, weird brown girl, and I'm so proud of it. And I want any South Asian women that are watching this, women of color that are watching this, to know that you are incredible. And that's not cheesy, but it's true. It's factually true. Now, I'm going to tell you things that really helped me. Number one was reclaiming my name. So as I said, I changed my name because when I was in primary school, I used to get bullied. People couldn't say my name, or they wouldn't try to say my name. They would say it wrong. It would make me feel uncomfortable. I used to go to drama school and act and sing. And one of the teachers was like, look, your name is hard to say. If anyone tries to cast you because they're going to be embarrassed of saying your name out loud, they're not going to pick you. And so change your name. And I changed my name to Maya, and I went by Maya for 8 years, 9 years. And it was only when I moved to London for university did I decide I'm going to start going by my name. And the first year I was like, my name's Mahika, but you can call me Maya. my name's Mahika, but you can call me whatever you want, as long as I know you're talking to me. That's a way that I know a lot of South Asian women stay small. Now, if you want to have a nickname because it makes you happy and you don't like your name, that's okay. But if you do it because it's easier for other people, oh my God, when are we going to stop literally trimming ourselves and our names down and making ourselves smaller to be easier for other people? There's many people now in my life, because I have a business, because I have this podcast, because I travel, because I do what I want, I say what I want, I'm so authentic to myself, that say I'm not an easy person to have around. In my last relationship, my ex-boyfriend was like, you're not an easy person to be with. I do not aspire to be an easy person to be with, because if I need space to be me, I'm going to take the space. And a lot of people do not feel permission to do that. And so step number one is, if you have an ethnic name, I beg you, please celebrate that. And you can go by a short name when you want for your ease and your comfort, but don't do it for other people's ease and comfort, especially if you are a grown adult. Like, okay, I know racism and bullying, all these things exist. The reality is, in the workspace, people get treated better if it's just like easier and whatever, but just reclaim it in small ways that you can. For me, that started with my friendships, with other relationships that I felt more safe to say, like, this is what I want to be called, this is what I want to go by. Now, when we talk about beauty and standards, like I said, I grew up not believing that I was the beauty standard. I looked very different to my friend group. Not only was I a different skin color, but I had a different body shape and build, because South Asians have a different body shape and build to like English girls from the countryside in like southern England. And so I judged myself and I compared myself, and I tried to make myself look like them, wear the uniform with the Topshop Joni jeans and the handbag and the fake lashes and the whatever. But now I want to lean into what looks good for me. So for all my brown girls that are watching this, you don't have to go the opposite way and only wear Indian clothes and the big jewelry, but ask yourself, what makes me happy? What makes me feel most authentic to me? And learn yourself. Learn yourself and what looks good on you. Do like a color analysis. You can get your AI to do this. Go and figure out yourself. Do a PhD in yourself. Go and see, what smells do I like? What skincare products do I like? What clothes make me feel confident? What is the energy that I want to embody? What is the things that I want to channel? And structure your style, your aesthetics, your beauty, your makeup around that, rather than around trends and what's normal. Because you know what? I've learned now, it's been enough years that I have been trying to look smacks and glow up and be beautiful, that bodies and women's bodies go in and out of style. I have seen the flat stomach side of the internet. I have seen the BBL side of the internet. I have seen the gym girl side of the internet, the Pilates body. You cannot cycle through these trends. Know what you have and try. And like I said, do a PhD in yourself and feel the most confident in yourself. Now, there is no shame in wanting to glow up and wanting to feel better and look better. I went on a little bit of a glow up journey this year, because after I went through my first heartbreak, I wanted to take better care of my health and get better routines. And as a result, I managed to recomp my body fat and clear my acne a little bit and have better routines with my health and my sleep and my diet and whatever. But I did that for me rather than wanting to do it for other people. And one thing I want to say is that whenever you feel uncomfortable or dysregulated or unsafe in your environment, a lot of people look first to change themselves because it's the easiest thing to regain control. Like I said, when I was younger and when I was being bullied, the most easy and effective thing that I could do was glow up so people would be nicer to me. And when I was 13, I went on this crazy diet and I lost a lot of weight. And overnight, people were a lot nicer to me. And so I was like, okay, this is something I'm going to internalize, and I'm going to learn that if I feel uncomfortable, I just have to change myself and I will feel safer and I'll feel better. And that can be true for a short term and for a little while, but the more you do it, the more you lose yourself because you're just trying to fit in every environment. And if you don't feel good in your environment and you feel the urge to change yourself, look at your environment first and ask yourself, is that even an environment that you want to be in? Now, when I get this panic urge to glow up, I ask myself, is it just because I feel dysregulated and unsafe and insecure? Or is it actually because I want to feel better and make changes in my life? Like I said, there is no shame in glowing up and maximizing your potential and having better health and enjoying your beauty and your body. But don't do it for other people and for your environment. And so it's so much easier actually to change your environment as you grow up. When you're a kid, it's harder because you can't change schools or whatever. But when you're an adult, you have more agency to not be in the rooms that make you uncomfortable. Surround yourself with people that talk about themselves well. When I turned 20, I moved to Spain and I had friendships where for the first time in my whole life, my friends weren't picking apart their bodies. They weren't being cruel to themselves. And it gave me the permission to enjoy my body with stretch marks, with acne, with like weird scars and imperfections. And that made me feel so powerful. Surround yourself with people that don't wait to look perfect to enjoy their lives. When I was growing up, I waited to look perfect to enjoy my life. There were so many moments, my prom, my birthdays, different weddings of people in my family, different parties, where I was so focused on the pictures and how I looked that I wasn't present with how I felt and my joy. And actually, I look back and I think about the times of my life where I've had the most attention, where I've had the most success in relationships, in friendships, even in my career, because I had some brief times where I modeled. And it wasn't always when I was my prettiest, skinniest, clearest skin. It was when I was having fun. It was when I was confident. And yes, again, there's a difference between having good maintenance and taking care of yourself and knowing what works for you, and then constantly bending yourself out of shape to glow up and fit in. When you do that, you just become ornamental. And I think there's a big difference between being a trophy and being a treasure. This is something I started to reflect on a few months ago, where I think I spent the last 20 something years of my life wanting to be a trophy, wanting to look good, wanting to achieve, wanting to represent success and whatever. And now I focus more on being a treasure and how it feels and the internal joy that comes with building a life, a body, beauty that makes me happy. I dress like a total weirdo now. I walk around in snakeskin boots and I love wearing red lipstick and I have all my crazy jewelry, but it makes me feel so beautiful. And so focus on how you can feel beautiful and you will become beautiful rather than how to be beautiful so you can feel worthy. Because I find that it's way more effective to feel beautiful and then that beauty that she radiates out of your face and you feel so much more confident and secure and happy than trying to wait to give yourself permission to feel happy. I think in life we wait to give ourselves permission. We wait to have the perfect partner to feel pleasure, to feel love, to feel satisfaction. We wait to have the perfect job to feel successful, safe, worthy, all this stuff. We wait to be beautiful. And you know what? When you keep waiting for these things, you keep raising the bar. That standard that you set yourself of, I'm not gonna wear a bikini until I have a flat stomach becomes, I'm not gonna wear a bikini until I have a flat stomach and a thigh gap and no stretch marks and no cellulite. Stop raising the bar and start living your life. That is the most beautiful thing that you can do. And yes, like I said, beauty is amazing, aesthetics are amazing, but do it from a place of creativity, from play, from joy, rather than from this prison of I need to fit in and I need acceptance. Do you need acceptance? Do you need these people to like you? Because honestly, some of the most beautiful, societally, objectively beautiful people that I know, and as I said, I had a brief model era, I have some model friends, are also deeply anxious and insecure behind the scenes. And so enjoy your life and focus more on beauty as an expression rather than as a way to kind of give you access and approval. There is a difference between self-maintenance and self-care, and it really angers me that on the internet, a lot of the self-care for women is face masks and get your nails done and all this stuff, which is so fun. I love doing it. I'm a girly girl. I really enjoy it. But these are also self-maintenance practices. These are things that you do to look good as well as feel good. Self-care is being kind to yourself. It's speaking to yourself with grace, with love. It is making time for the projects that you've procrastinated on. It's making time for the people that you have been flaking on and avoiding. It is showing up for yourself as well as the face mask and the nails and the blowout and the whatever. You need to balance that out and try and cultivate a confidence and a life that not just looks good but feels good, because it will be with you when the changes come in your body. If you're watching this and you're a woman, you have a menstrual cycle. Your weight's going to change throughout the month. Your skin's going to change throughout the month. You are going to feel bloated and deflated and gross and achy and whatever. If you anchor your worthiness and your beauty on these things, the flatness of your stomach, the clearness of your skin, the thickness of your hair, whatever, then your beauty is going to go up and down. Your worth is going to go up and down. And trust me, I've been there. And I don't want to do that anymore. And like I said, I'm just a girl. I have insecurities too. I spent so many years of my life wanting to fit in and wanting to look good because I know that life is easier when you fit in and you look good. The reality is pretty privilege exists. People are kinder to you and you can want to grow and improve and, like I said, have better health, but do it for you. Don't do it for other people. Do it because you want to feel good and you want to enjoy yourself, and center that enjoyment and the feeling rather than the way that it's looked and perceived, and you will be unstoppable. Now, this is probably not the glow up advice that you thought you were going to get. Maybe you thought I was going to tell you to do like the turmeric yogurt face masks or the tongue scraping or the whatever. And if you want, I can give you a video on Indian practices that have helped me feel and look better. And I'm going to list off a few things because, like I said, self-maintenance and beauty is important and it's fun, but it's not the first domino in like living the best life and looking and feeling your best. A couple of things that you should know and you can try, and I do recommend as a brown girl beauty, rapid fire things. Oil your hair. So important. If you struggle with thin hair, if you don't have shiny hair, Indians have amazing hair because we oil our hair, baby. We use coconut, we use neem, we use amla. There's this brand called Vatika. If you have an Indian grocery store anywhere near where you live, you can order it online as well. Get yourself some hair oil. Put it in while you're cleaning your house, while you're washing your makeup brushes, while you're whatever, and wash it off. Double shampoo. Your hair's gonna thank you for it. Number 2, turmeric is so good. You can use it in everything. When your skin's feeling a bit if you use turmeric, yogurt, honey, and chickpea flour or besan, it's an amazing face mask. It's something that's really helped me with my skin. And I had crazy acne. You can go see my older videos from a few months ago. It was really inflamed and really bad, but this has really helped me. Another thing is tongue scraping. This is something that's an Ayurvedic practice. Hygiene is so important. Actually, one of the most beautiful things you can do is be clean and be hygienic. And so tongue scrape and floss and have good practices with that. And yeah, that's something super affordable that you can do, that you can buy. And another thing is accessorize and enjoy. Indians, one of the biggest part of Indian beauty is maximalism. We wear the craziest outfits and the craziest jewelry, and center enjoyment around your beauty and you will always feel beautiful. That is the thing I'm leaving you with today. This month is all about South Asian heritage, which is why I wanted to kind of talk about my experiences as a South Asian woman. In this month, we're also having podcast episodes from the amazing Sangeeta Pillai from Masala Podcast, who is one of the most successful British South Asian podcasters. And she's going to talk about like reclaiming pleasure, confidence, how to build, how to overcome obstacles and trauma and difficulty. And we're also talking to Shohini, who has a business around food and what it means to be Bengali and all this stuff. And so, yeah, this is what I'm leaving you with. Enjoy your life, enjoy your beauty, and stop trying to fit in a world that you're not meant to fit in. Take the space that you need to take and reclaim being bossy. That's what this podcast is about. Reclaiming being bossy, being bold, and building a brilliant, bold, bossy, delicious life. If you like this, subscribe, follow, stay tuned for more, and let me know what you want to see. Reach out to me on the podcast Instagram and TikTok, and yeah, come join the family. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you your shot of confidence and delusion. I love you a lot, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.